Welcome to Market Matters. I'm Nadia Hassan together with Charlotte Chong. Companies in the news, we are looking at the earnings of LPI Capital Bhd, down today about 0.63%. It's not really that big, down to 15 ringgit and 70. So the fact is we're looking at their net profit. It declined by 12.7% to about 102.1 million for the quarter, this recent quarter that they ended on the 4th. This was lower to realized gains on investment in equity. So what these guys do, of course, is that they sit under the wonderful umbrella of that is public bank and the wonderful grace that is Tan Sri Teh Hong Piao.
So they do general news,
or
general insurance. We are doing general news.
No, we do business news, not general news. Don't trivialize us.
So what Tan Sri Teh Hong Piao actually said in a report that unfavorable global economic developments coupled with weak commodity prices have continued to dampen investor sentiment in the market itself.
Yeah, so basically the weakness of the ringgit, of course, we mentioned it several times and I've called it several names. It doesn't seem to change anything. Is presently trading at multi-year lows. The press economic scenario, of course, has adversely affected the general insurance industry. So it's not just them. I think if you look at
the entire
the whole thing, any guy who does general insurance is going to be hit. But Lompak Insurance Bhd, they did have a nice little healthy 8.8% growth in gross premium income. That's the one thing about whether you invest in public bank or whether you invest in LPI, you know that the managers there by default are very conservative. You can see that in the banking results. You can see that in somebody like LPI Capital. You know that they will not overreach, which is comforting, especially when you're coming to insurance.
But I think a lot of people still do like LPI because it's leveraging on public banks' reach.
Yes.
In terms of getting clients, and moving forward, Tay actually said in the same report that the group will actually continue to be selective on risk acceptance and maintain its posture of prudence.
Yeah, so we're not just going to sit there and wax lyrical about it. The fact is, Lompak did increase its market share to 6.8% in 2015 from 6.2%. I mean, that's not bad. And you were saying that how they leveraged on public bank and the people, of course, that live, that use public bank. That's the beauty of it. If you are the kind of investor who loves public bank, who loves the solid, who loves the SME guy, who knows where you're going to with public bank, you will also love the insurance because it's all essentially cut from the same cloth. So they will be selective, like you said, on risk acceptance and main postures of prudence. I think the liberalization of the insurance industry, moving all this way, they have to find a way to mitigate it because the numbers aren't bad. I mean, let's put it in context, right? So last year at this time, they made 117.1. Now they made 102.2. I mean, it's not as if they're completely tanking. Top line went up to 338 from 299.
But I think the entry price 15.7 is still a little bit expensive if you compare with other banks as well.
Yeah, so LPI, even with the drop, they are still also giving you dividend. And that's what you buy it for. You don't buy it for capital appreciation. It doesn't look like you'd buy it for capital appreciation. You would buy it for dividends. And they still seem to be continuing to paying out.
It's just like public bank. I actually attended one of these public banks AGM a couple of years back.
Did it look like a shrine?
Yes, it does. But what shareholders actually told me that, by buying shares in public bank, it actually provide them, for them to provide their children to, go overseas to study.
Exactly. So that's the beauty of public bank. That's why people still love it. But why do people like LPI Capital Bhd? We'll wrap it up for you. The fact is, we saw their 4Q earnings for today. They've declined by 12.7%. It basically lower realized gains, investment in equities. It's been a tough year for them. I don't think even the best manager would have been able to do anything unless something funny. But the fact is, it's driven by the general insurance segment. Tan Sri Teh Hong Piao, of course, who sits at the head, has said that it's going to be a tough market. It'll be selective, though, on risk acceptance, and we'll see whether or not that will weather through this storm that we see. Moving on, finally, to Broker's Call. It's an oldie but a goodie, and we love this company. I love this company. They're
Chong definitely loves this
company. Well, for maybe other reasons. But the fact is, Karex Bhd, they're actually quite based in Johor, where I'm from. It's an interesting thing to look at. Up 4.65% to 4 ringgit and 28. It rose as much as 15 cents in the morning. Wasn't able to kind of sustain it. Well, it did sustain it a little bit this much. So yesterday, they announced they're acquiring this company called TheyFit LLC for 5.64 million ringgit, which is nothing, I think, in the whole thing. It's a part of the plan that they want to expand. So these guys will give them reach in UK and Europe.
Yeah. So interestingly, what I found out from the article is it also holds a patented measurement kit, fit kit for consumers to customize their condom sizes, which is very interesting. None of these
Yeah.
players are doing it in the market.
Yeah, exactly. That's great because, of course, not everybody is created equal.
This is
and-
definitely good news for Chong.
well, I don't know how you know that Chong needs it, but the
Just
fact is,
joking.
yeah, don't worry about it. The fact is, it is something new and it is something that is different because, of course, not everybody is created equal. Some people are more equal than most, and some feel it more better than most. But the fact is, we're looking at the two
Countries.
research reports, Hong Leong and TheyFit Research. Both of them pretty much the same down the line. Hold, because they think the share price is just worth holding at the moment. Unchanged TP of 452. TA Research actually also hold, but on the lower side. But when I mean lower side, I mean 2 cents
2
lower.
cent lower. So
4.50,
TA Research actually
exactly.
positive on proposed acquisition on what they say they are going to buy the Fit Kit. And they say this is in line with the group's strategy to expand its higher margin OBM segment. Historically contribute about less than 10% of condom sales. Now they think TheyFit will actually drive the sales venture globally, and the group has plans for it to manage by its subsidiary in the USA. The name is called Global Protection Corp.
Oh,
in
that
the USA.
makes me feel really secure for some very odd reason. So Hong Leong, same kind of vein. They're positive on the acquisition. Like you said, its own brand family. Because don't forget, these guys, they manufacture for Durex. They manufacture for the big guys. And it's no surprise that, look, if you already have big client number one, why not stay as an OEM guy? Why have to push their OBM? But when I interviewed Karex before, they have said they want to push their new products. I've seen them. We've shown them on the show before. But, I think some people just reach for the brand they know.
We did.
Anyway, so like you said, acquisition will allow Karex, same thing, new brands, rebalancing in various custom fit sizes of condoms. Who knows? The fact is, FDA approvals, you mentioned the US, right? FDA approvals is massive. It's the big thing that they have. And they will do these custom fit condoms. So no more slippage and no more, breakage. I think that's what they're doing now. Because, for all the time that we giggle about it and we talk about condoms, let's not forget, it's a medical device. It is actually a medically tested device.
So Karex actually said yesterday that the acquisition will be financed by proceeds from the group's private placement exercise, which they have raised about 158 million ringgit back in March 2015. Now let's take a look at their financial result. Their profit actually up 74.2% to 22.3 million ringgit. The revenue up as well, 8.6% to 76.1 million ringgit. This is the largest condom manufacturer in the world.
Exactly. Let's see how this actually makes their push towards their own brand, or whether they should have just stuck with Durex. The fact is, just to wrap it up for you, we're looking at Karex Bhd. We are looking at the fact that Hong Leong's looking at them, TA is looking at them. Both say hold. Hong Leong has 452, TA has 450. Because why? They actually acquired a company called TheyFit LLC. It's not much. The 5 million price tag is very, very little of their cash pile. It should be no problem. But it should allow them to expand their own brand, including custom fit size condoms. Because like we said, not everybody is the same kind of length. So anyway, just for that note, that's all for us for Market Matters. I'm Nadia Hassan together with Charlotte Chong. For more, of course, The Edge Markets is there for you. And of course, you can also pick up the physical copies at any suitable newsstands. Good night, guys.